Hey guys, so today I'll be telling you about the findings we see on tympanometry. So what we have is a graph. I have tried to compile all the pathologies and the normal in one graph only. So on the y-axis we have compliance and on the x-axis we have pressure, right? So first of all we will see what is normal and then I'll take you to the pathologies. So the pink graph that you can see here, that is the normal middle ear that we see. So here there is a notch or a peak at zero pressure, and that is the maximum compliance this has. Okay, now what pathologies can we have? The first one is this, the purple graph. As you can see here, the compliance severely increased, but the peak is again at zero, right? So where do we see this graph? This is seen in ossicular discontinuity, in which the ossicles fail to attach to the tympanic membrane. Hence, the tympanic membrane is free and it moves freely. So if it moves freely, the compliance is bound to increase, right? The compliance is elasticity of any membrane. So here the compliance increases. The second pathology that we can see here is the green graph. Here what happens is that the compliance decreases from normal and the peak is again at zero. So this is known as the AS type of graph, and it is seen in stiff tympanic membrane. Here, the pathologies can be otosclerosis, that is the fixation of stapes footplate, or the fixation of malleus, or tympanosclerosis. Here, the compliance decreases, as we can see. Okay, so S is stiff and D is discontinuous. A is normal. Now, moving on to the left, we have two graphs here. One is C and one is B. So first, we will talk about C. Here, there is a negative peak. The peak is almost around 200. So here what happens is that the maximum compliance is there with a negative pressure. This is seen in retracted tympanic membrane. That is, the tympanic membrane gets moved in the opposite direction. That is why we give it a negative sign. This is something I used to remember. It's not the real concept. This is seen in atelectasis of the middle ear, also in early stages of eustachian tube obstruction, because eustachian tube pulls the middle ear cavity towards itself and hence it pulls the tympanic membrane also. So this is C. Moving on to B, here as you all can see there is no peak. So the compliance never really peaks and it is more or less the same even if we vary the pressure so much from negative 200 to positive 200, but there is no specific peak. So this is seen when the tympanic membrane is thick. So when it is thick, the pressure changes are not directly shown by the compliance. Also, when there is fluid accumulation in the middle ear, the vibration gets dampened and therefore the compliance severely reduces or the compliance does not peak at all. This is also seen in serous otitis media, which is basically fluid accumulation in the middle ear. I hope this was helpful. Thank you.